What the deuce? Hello. Hello. And welcome to a inner fetish video concerning the FatFreq and Hawaii Bad Boy collab, The Deuce. I'm going to call it The Deuce, even doesn't say the. I feel like it just needs to be there. So I'm sitting here, dick in my hand. And first of all, let me just say, they don't need to put the flare end on this to hold the tip better, because it's bigger than the tip, basically. So it just makes everything going on and off that much more difficult. And I'm switching back to the, God damn it, so thick. Switching back to the DUECE tips versus the render tips, because you do not need to help these out in any way, shape, or form with low-end performance. I looked at the price, and they are, there's two prices, and it's a pretty big fucking jump, and I don't quite like it like that. $260 with the 4.4, and at $240 with the 3.5. So that's a $20 difference. Usually on a lot of these IEMs, it's just not a difference at all. It's just like whichever one you want. But they're charging you 20 extra bucks to, oh my fucking God, to get the wire with a 4.4. And the wire is acceptable. It's not exceptional. I know that FatFreq, everyone seems to like them. Look, the owner who let me borrow these got his name put on the metal box cover. We got to talk about that fucking psychotic thing. This is a nice, I mean, that's kind of the nightmare sound you'd hear. Oh God, I went too tight. If you let that slap, she basically locks, which is kind of wild. So, little tiny box, little tiny thing. I'm gonna call this a $240 worth, but not, that's how much I would say you pay. Don't pay extra for this red cable. You don't need, I don't like red fabric. Well, I should say I don't like fabric cables for IEMs, usually because of microphonics. And it's a fine cable, but you're probably going to swap it out. Like, this doesn't slide very well. There it goes. It got stuck with the twist. It's a 4-wire fabric with a really cool looking split there. That looks cool as hell. And then this thing, and then the wires. And they are just 2-pin, which is nice. The IEMs themselves are rather large, like they're long. They big boys. Keep pulling out. You just take my word for it. They're like 25% longer than I've seen on a lot of IEMs, which might save them from being very deep, because they're not very deep. So that's good. Now, other than the nozzles being massive, let's put them in. They're pretty comfortable. I haven't had a problem. People who have smaller ears, who love JoJo, because, oh, it's so small, I can't barely get JoJo to fit. So now, I've got a couple setups on my desk now. You know what? We haven't tried adapting that. Oh, that's going to kill everyone on Earth. I stopped at 69. You saw it. Yeah, okay, so the whole point of the Deuce is to make you shit your pants. Guess get it? Because you take a deuce. When you take a deuce is when you go poop poop. Do not buy from Linsol nor FatFreq. These people are scammers. They're using cheap, unreputable, and terrible shipping service. Uni, who have failed to deliver to my address twice. I've purchased thousands of dollars worth of purchase products from Linsol. Never had a problem delivering until now. And Linsol refuses to give me a refund. This is a whole... I stumbled upon a 1-star review just randomly. I guess it has nothing to do with the actual thing. It's just this guy's got a problem. Fake advertisement. While these items are great, we need to mention the fake advertisement of 25 dB day shelf, when in reality, only 18 dB and the other 7 come from an external impedance adapter. They literally say it. I read that here. Unless they adjusted it since then. So, 18 decibel bass shelf. That's a lot. You're probably not going to buy these unless you're a bass person. So I went into them expecting a repeat of the Hawaii Bad Boy Punch. Remember the Punch? If you think I don't do bad reviews or give things shit ratings, go watch my review of the Punch. This is not the Punch. I actually like these. And it's not even for the bass. The bass with the adapter, let's just talk about this for a second. This is an impedance adapter, but not the kind that makes things like Where's the, like, this is an impedance adapter that IFI makes, which just prevents noise from highly powerful sources getting into your thing, blah, blah, blah. This is a bass shelf adapter that adds a 7 decibel boost to bass to whatever you plug it into. It's not specifically designed technically for these IEMs, although I might be picking components to go in here that match the impedance of the IEM. But I use this for approximately 12 minutes, and I want to get those 12 minutes back of my life. It's very weird. I can't plug it into itself. It's very annoying. It's very weird how headphones, like let's say Eris, I bring it out, I tell everyone this has got the most bass in a headphone you could currently purchase, and it's designed for the bass. And everyone freaks out, loses their mind, and like, this isn't even the Harman curve, and everyone's angry. But IEMs can get away with being advertised as an 18 decibel bass shelf with an extra 7 if you get an adapter. And I'm just like, why are the IEM people having fun and the headphone people are so fucking boring? Because these IEMs, sans the adapter, we do not need, no need, without a bass-heavy song. If I'm just listening to classical music, if I'm just listening to female vocals, they're nice. They're a good place to be. FatFreq did a good job tuning them along with Hawaii Bad Boy. It says meticulously tuned by HBB. But the soundstage is here. The subtlety of the detail is here. I don't feel like I'm being just bombarded with shitty bass for no reason, because it has to be a bass IEM. Own Flamingo, by the way. Let me just stare at the screen for a second while I pick music. Here's a perfect example. Ennio Morricone. This is all... I mean, there's a little bit of like a... because it's Ennio Morricone, but there's a lot of string instruments and flutes and people humming, and all of it is there and nice and supple and wide. There's an extremely wide soundstage in these. And all of those reasons would be the reasons I would buy the DUECE. The bass, which does come in, if I go to my bass playlist, I have a bass playlist, there's bass, will be like, like, almost too much. Certainly too much with that. But, since it isn't creeping out, because it is advertised as a sub-bass IEM, you don't get it with, like, bass. Like Eris... To whether you like that or not, it takes over the bass section. And if you have a lightly bassy song, it adds a little bit of a hump to that. And then people complain that it doesn't have sub-bass. And this is all sub-bass. Which means only songs that utilize, sub 40 hertz are going to get this treatment. So you can listen to music all day. I'm waiting for this to hit. This is the One Punch Man. A good part's over. But I'm waiting for it to just smack me in the face, but in a good way. Like, the punch, I didn't want to keep going back to the punch. I just didn't like the punch at all. HBB punch was just like, ugh. Meanwhile, the DUECE here, there's that rolling, like, rumble in the background of this track. But then there's, like, an opera singer. These must be fantastic to watch movies in. So I've got tube. Let's take it out of that, which I believe it should still be outputting here. So I wanted to do the setup here is now tube DAC into tube pre into tube amp. And I don't think these need that. And I've got EF 499, which sounds so fucking good. And then the only one that actually sounds different on, I've got the Musician Pegasus R2R feeding directly into the Orchard with a 30 decibel choke on the back of it, and I'm using the Control Freak. So I can run IEMs pretty conveniently now. The only one that's super secret magic potions from Freeman. The only setup here that's like normal will be, this one I wouldn't even call normal. That thing just has a wild, not quite R2R, but RRR, like, go here. And while there's a change in sound, it never changes like the spacing. It always sounds like it's doing wide clarity. I like these IEMs. I don't think they don't hit above their price point. Like they're not, oh, they're worth $1,000 for how they sound. But if you're looking for a smooth, warm, wide IEM, just those things, this isn't a bad choice at $260 or $240, depending if you get the wire or not. And then you add the fact that it's like, oh, by the way, it can, on really bassy tracks, exaggerate the living fuck out of those. Yes. If you're a person who avoids bass, and there are those people, I don't blame you if you avoid bass. Maybe it makes your teeth rattle or something. Then you probably want to avoid these. But as an actual IEM that does actual music things on actual weird hardware, and again, I would stick to the silicone tips. The original owner didn't send me any of the tips that these came with. I would like to have just seen what they were offering. I think you can live with these. I could absolutely live with the DUECE for almost all tasks. I mean, shit, I live with Iris for all tasks, so having a little bit of a bass boost is not a scary thing to me. These are lovely. There is a lot of FatFreq. They know what they're doing. And Hawaii Bad Boy hasn't added too much. He's kept the bass where it fucking belongs, which is down in the sub-bass region. Don't mess with the whole thing. That's Rinko did like the whole thing, and errors of the whole thing, which is my preference, or the thing I'm trying to get people to understand that it probably might be more fun. But this will sell to people who don't. You could probably listen to 5 or 6 tracks on this and never even know there's an 18 dB bass shelf. That's the magic of it. It doesn't get it right in your face from the get-go. It's like, hey, look at me. Yeah, these are good. These are good. I thought they were going to be more expensive, too. I don't know the price of anything until I literally sit at this desk. And if I had to guess the price, I would have been guessing around $350, despite the lack of thing. But I don't know the FatFreq price points. So I would call these as a good buy for $250. These are a good buy for $250. You just got to know that you're going to have occasional bursts of insanely stupid bass. And then you can take your impedance adapter, which I think it comes with, whether you know what, this might be why it costs $20 more. In fact, you know what, that is why. It's not because of the wire. Oh, the wire is expensive. They have to give you a different one of these, and it's probably way easier to make a single-ended version of this than it is a balanced version of this. So, all right, I get the $20. It might actually be worth the $20 to get one of these so that you could take this out and then plug this in. Let's do it here. And let's just, for the giggles and the shits and the... By the way, everyone on the In-Ear Fetish channel, this is what a headphone looks like. In case you're wondering. Yeah, I know. They go over your ears and not in them. I assume everyone here is just only ever. Make sure that's down. Let's go to my bass playlist. Hold on. I want to see. You know, it doesn't really actually do anything. That doesn't sound like it's doing any more bass. It is probably cutting some of the power, though. This does cut power. Yeah, that actually doesn't add any bass to the Eris. It just makes it harder to drive. About the same. About same. Okay, so yeah. FatFreq HBB DUECE. Thumbs up for me. Throw the punch away. That punch was bad. Punch did not... Punch tried to do what it said it was going to do, but it didn't do it. This does what it said it's going to do. It's enjoyable to listen to when it's not doing the thing it's trying to do. The only thing I would wish for is a little bit less stiffy wire. I need less of a stiffy. I think we'd all agree I need less of a stiffy. And I would like to have had this. I mean, this is only 32 ohms. I don't know what the actual impedance on the FatFreq is. Does it say testicle details? Nope. Just says inside the box. Control F. Impedance. No, it's just that one review. I don't actually know what they Oh God, I'm breaking things. Anyway, Patreon subscribes to support this channel. Links to these will be in the description. These are all being borrowed from someone, so they won't end up in the yard sale, unless I really hate Kion. I guess I'd have to give him a portion of the money if I sold all this stuff. But yeah, links to these mouse pads are on Reddit. Wallpapers in the Wallpaper Horde, along with every wallpaper I've ever used ever. Thank you for stopping by. If you support the channel, I appreciate it. You can actually go see unreleased IEM videos, usually on Patreon and Subscribestar. They will eventually come out here on the channel, if you're watching this here on the channel. But if you don't want to wait and you just want to watch 5 or 6 of these that haven't been seen, check out the Patreon and the Subscribestar. There are free posts for those. I'm going to finish drinking my chalky milk with coffee in it. Different thing today. I'm going to move on with my life. Welcome back. So, as is tradition, I finish the review and then I take the wire out of the IEM so I can put it on the desk and take the photo for the thumbnail. And as I was peeling the wires out, because it came with the wires attached, I actually cracked the shell. Right there. It popped off because this is big and really far in there. So a little piece of it fell off and I dropped it in here. A little tiny thing. So that's a negative point. It does not need to be that far in. I didn't realize how far in the wires were going. It's not going to affect anything on it as long as this crack doesn't continue and split the whole thing. Just wanted to point out that could be a mode of contention that this nozzle is they're quite deep. I thought they were flush. They are not. They go way in there, Morty. So I got to tell the owner that, oh, by the way, this cracked off, and he's going to be like, ah! I guess the moral of the story is if you're going to get another wire, it needs to have a very deep section here, and don't take it on and off very much, because that is not a hole that's meant for abuse. Why am I looking at the wallpaper when I say that? Stop.